As you can see, I'm not in my normal filming location. I'm currently down the coast at the moment. We're leaving tomorrow, and the reason why I'm being quiet is because I have people on either side of me that are trying to sleep, and so I'm trying to be respectful and quiet. So I don't know how good the audio will sound in this review, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. So this week I haven't had a whole lot of time to watch movies because Christmas just happened, and that would explain the shirt here. And we have New Year's just around the corner. By the time I release this review, it will probably be New Year's Eve. So happy New Year's, everybody. I hope you have a great 2023, because I probably won't upload another video until the first week of January, because there are a few releases coming out in January that I am looking forward to, so you'll more than likely see reviews of them in the next coming weeks. But this week I haven't had a whole lot of time to watch movies, but when I have had a spare few hours, I've been going back and watching some 2022 releases that I either didn't get the chance to see, that I didn't see in the theaters, or it wasn't showing near me, and so I had to watch it on streaming. And so far there's been some pretty hit or miss titles. For the most part, miss. Pray for the devil. We all know how that turned out. And since we've been around the beach a lot this week, I thought it would be a fitting conclusion for the week to end it off with a shark movie. And so I decided to watch Open Water 3 Cage Dive. And this is a movie that I have seen before. I watched it back in 2017, I believe, when it initially came out, and I really enjoyed this movie. It was my favourite of the franchise. It had the most re-watch factor to it, and this is the movie I can see myself going back and watching the most out of these three films. And so I haven't seen it since 2017, and so I want to see if the film still held up as strong in 2022. And this is a franchise, the Open Water franchise. I'm a pretty big fan of these movies. I think they're very simple but effective films. The way they are directed, I think, is excellent. I think the talent behind it, and I think this is, if not the best shark franchise we have got since Jaws. Not all of these movies have a lot of rewatch factor to them. I'm sorry if my speech is not that great tonight. It's 11:30 at night. I am tired, so I'm trying to speed through this review. Where was I at? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I enjoy the first Open Water because it's a simple yet effective shark thriller. Open Water 2 Adrift did not have a shark in it. I think there was one moment where one of the characters put their head underwater and there was a brief shark appearance for 5 seconds. But the second movie isn't really a shark film, it's more of a survival thriller, I would say. And for what that film was, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a very, I can buy, a lot of people don't like Open Water 2. I'm someone that it took me a few watches to really enjoy that movie the way I do now, because I always kind of view this franchise as a shark thriller, you know, kind of series of films, but that's not really the way that it turned out. It's like 2 out of the 3 open water films are shark thrillers, and then there's only one of them that is purely survival. But like I enjoy open water too. I think that's the most disturbing film, just in its context. Like the characters are in the water and they're literally looking up at their freedom. Like they have their hands on the boat. They just can't get on it. Like, to me, that is the most disturbing way to die. Like, your freedom, your safety is right in front of you, but you just can't reach it. To me, like, that whole concept, I think is really disturbing, and so I really like the film on that side of things. And then Open Water 3 Cage Dive. This film, after watching it tonight, this is still my favourite out of the 3 films. I think this film is the best directed out of the 3. I think it has some of the best tension out of the 3. I like how you see the shark more in this one, more than the other 2 films. The only downside I would say I have with Cage Dive is the characters. I think Megan and Ben, I think his name is, like, those 2 characters, like, I can't stand. I think they are the worst human beings imaginable. They are the most insufferable characters to follow in this film, because there's an affair going on with Megan and Josh's brother, and like, who does that? Who does that to their own brother? He has an affair with his girlfriend. Like, I'm glad those fuckers got eaten by a shark. Like, they're the biggest film cunts of all in this film. I have not seen characters that I found it so hard to root for throughout the film. And Josh was the only character in this film where I feel like he had a good motivation. His character seemed like an everyday Australian kind of person, and all of that. And yeah, Josh was the only character in this film that I was rooting for. And it sucks that he, is he the first person to die? I'm trying to think. No, that's right, Megan dies first, followed by Josh, and then his fucking dickhead brother. But yeah, I was sad when the final boy, if you want to call it that, wasn't Josh, because I think this film would have been better if it was focused purely on Josh's side of things. And the setup for this film, the first half an hour to 45 minutes, like, I was gripped on this movie. Like, I love the build-up, I love the character introductions, I love their personality, I love the acting from all of them. I thought the chemistry was on point. So yeah, like, there's a lot to enjoy in the first 45 minutes. Where this film dragged for me is once the shark stuff started happening, because there's a lot of scenes that are kind of pointless. While there is a lot of action in this movie, there's always something going on. There's like a good 10 to 15 minutes in the middle, maybe a bit longer, that could be trimmed out, because it's all just fat to make this runtime bigger and to make this like feature length. And I don't know why the directors thought that Megan, and I'm just gonna refer to him as Dickhead Brother. I can't think of his goddamn name. The character was forgettable to me. Why they thought that those characters should be the characters that the audience should get behind, because I didn't care shit for them. Like, just that whole storyline, I was liking what it was building to, but the payoff wasn't executed the best. And the film does end on one of my personal fears in horror movies, which is, the final jump scare for the audience. Like, if you guys have been watching my channel, I hate that shit. I can't stand when films have, one last final scare for the audience. Fuck off. Oh my god. Like, I experienced that with Pray for the Devil, which was a 2022 release, and I thought we were done with that. I thought we were done with the scaring the audience in the final seconds of the film before the credits. Like, it's such an overused gimmick. It's not effective. It's lazy directing. It's a lazy way to end your film. But saying that, I will say the way it's done in this movie, there is like a slight twist to it, because the dickhead brother sees the helicopter, and then the camera goes back in the water. There's nothing there. He looks back up at the helicopter, and so he's really only minutes away from safety. And then when the camera pans back down into the water, a shark appears, and then you see him get eaten and all that. And so I did like that suspense building there, and I suppose the movie had to end, and I think that is one of the most logical ways to end the film. And the reason why I feel like I'm defending that scene in this movie more than others is because I hate his fucking character. Like, I'm sorry, I've said that a lot in this review. I do apologize, but his character got on my nerve so fucking much watching this movie. I could not stand to see his character, because he's useless for so much of the movie. He's really there for like a supporting role, but it's a supporting role that if you remove him from the film would be no different. The only reason why he's there is to add some drama to the film, which it does. And so, I was kind of glad that he did die, because there was no way I wanted to see his character get rescued. Like, if that was Josh, on the other hand, like, I would feel so fucking bad, because Josh, like, he's an innocent person. He doesn't know about the affair that's going on, and to know that your own brother is doing it, like your own, your brother, one that you grew up with, like, to me, that is such like a dick move, is to fall in love and go as far, to have, like, sex and, kiss her, behind closed doors, and just not knowing that, like, you're the biggest fucking dick. Like, I'm sorry, this, the fucking character's got to me. There is some shark CGI in the film, and it is a bit dated, but it's better compared to a lot of other shark films that I have seen. The CGI in this one isn't actually too bad. It's believable enough. I'm trying to think, but all the shark scenes were the highlight. The setup of the film is really good. I would like to see another open water if they decide to make one, but I don't know if that's on the schedule. But I would like to see a full film, just to see what they can do, because I know this film didn't do the best at the box office. But like, I think more people should check this one out, because this is my fan favorite of the franchise. So yeah, I don't know what a lot of people have to say about this film. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. What do you think of Open Water 3 Cage Dive? Do you like this movie? Do you think it's alright, or do you just flat out hate it? Because I know this fan base is very divisive on this franchise. I know some people like the second film, some people don't like it, some people do. So yeah, I'm very curious to know what everyone thinks of Open Water 3. Alright, that's my review. See ya.